District started in 1918 was to conserve and protect the watershed and the water supply that we had here. In addition to that, it also went outside to look for additional sources of water because we knew in the future more water was going to be necessary, especially for farming. If we wanted to continue to farm the way that we were farming, we needed to do that. At the same time, actually a few years before our water agency was formed, the Indio Stormwater and Levee District was formed because the Whitewater River that we know today was fairly well defined up until the point of Point Happy. And at Point Happy, which is at 111 in Washington Street, the Whitewater had this bad tendency of changing directions, going different paths. And one of the paths, some of the time it'd come up in here through La Quinta, and other times it'd go right through Indio, and sometimes it'd go off in that. So they formed the Indio Levee District in order to channelize the Whitewater so they knew where it was going to go. In those early days, both agencies were really paper agencies. We didn't have the money to do the projects and the things that we wanted to do, so we shared office space. And after many years of sharing the same office space, it was a case of why do we have two entities? Why isn't there just one agency? And under the State of California County Water Districts Act, the governing set of laws, it allowed us to take in stormwater. So today, the Coachella Valley Water District does agricultural water, agricultural drainage, stormwater protection for a large part of the valley, the majority of the valley. Yeah, there we go. And then in the 60s, we got into the areas of domestic water, sanitation, water.
Whoa!
And so we do all those things. The early days when stormwater started off, we didn't have the monies to do a lot of projects. It wasn't until we had rain events in the 60s, fairly large rain events. If you've lived here any amount of time, you know what happened. In the 70s, though, our population had gotten up a little larger. There were developments here in the Cove, Palm Desert, Rancho Mirage, over in Cathedral City, here in La Quinta. And these coves really weren't protected very well. And in 76 and then in 80, there were two large events that caused a lot of damage. And got a lot of people to think about, we need stormwater protection. That was the emphasis for the water district, to be able to get bonds passed, and do other fundings to have these projects built. And this is one of our largest projects here. This is the Bear Creek Channel. You've been up to the top. You know that big hole that's up there at the top. The whole idea of that is it's a catch basin. If the catch basin weren't there and the efforts to redirect the water around the cove, in the case of a large event, the water would come right down through the middle of the community here.